Hi, this is Kristen Von Cleff. You are watching and or listening to High on the Holy Spirit. This episode is basically talking about how everybody needs Christian compassion, even celebrities. So stay tuned after this intro, and I will see you on the other side. Thanks. All right, so I never really thought I'd be getting into pop culture on this podcast, but I am. All right, so I'm going to try to breeze through this. It's probably not going to be super long. I just wanted to say, okay, so what first got me thinking about it was when Britney Spears, a pop artist from the late 90s into the 2000s, came out with her memoir. She's gone through a lot of stuff. But specifically in it was when she came out saying that she was coerced by her then boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, to have an abortion. To preface all of this, do I know Britney? No. Do I know Justin? No. Do I know for sure that this even happened? No. The only reason I'm commenting on it at all is because it's very common. It's very common for people who are not even celebrities to be coerced into having abortions. And she talked about, the reason I'm commenting on it is she talked about how devastated she was because of it. And she still is to this day. And I know women who highly regret their abortions and are devastated and go to retreats and go to healing, seminars and all kinds of things to recover from this tragedy, this decision that either they made or they were coerced into making. So I see this, right? And I see people all over the place ripping up Justin Timberlake. If this happened, was it awful? Absolutely, for sure. But we don't know Justin. We don't know the situation. We don't know anything about it. So it's not very compassionate. It's not very, as a Christian, you shouldn't be ripping anybody apart, Jesus talks about it all the time. Before you take out the splinter in somebody else's eye, take out the plank in your own, right? We don't know Justin. So that's not right. Is he deserving of being told that what he did was wrong? Yeah. But more of my focus isn't on Justin. It's more focused on Britney. And it's focused on who is praying for this woman. She is in so much pain, if this is true. And even if it isn't, the first time my heart truly went out to this woman was when she shaved her head, which was like 15, 20 years ago. I don't know when it was. And I remember watching that and being like, this girl is hurting. She's wounded. She's sick. Because healthy people don't do this. People who are, thriving in life, things are going good, do not do this. And people just got on whatever was available then to rip her apart. I don't know if social media was quite there then. I don't know. I don't remember when this was. It could have been. But they were ripping apart. She's crazy, which, psychologically, is she psychotic? She could have very well been. But that's not nice. That's not compassionate at all. And when you are in that kind of state, you don't need people hating on you. You need people praying for you and loving you and supporting you to get healthy. That's pretty much what you need. And so I saw that, and so it was in the back of my head to talk about, we need to love celebrities too. And during that time period, a video of Katy Perry, another pop artist of the 2000s, come up in my feed, and it was obviously an interview. Somebody's talking to her, and just a little short reel, 30-second, 10-second, whatever it was. She said somebody asked her once, did she want to be right or did she want to be loved? And she, with tears, mascara dripping down her, all over her face, she just said, I just want to be loved. And my heart, my compassionate heart, I just broke for her. I ended up looking up the full interview, which I'm going to put the link into the description. And I was crying. My heart is very big. And as friends have said, my friend Christine said, Chris, you love so hard. And I do. It hurt my heart. Like, pain in the chest and crying for this woman I don't know. And, but she talked about, I just said Britney Spears shaved her head. Well, if you know anything about Katy Perry and have seen her over the years, when she became famous, and for a long time, she had this beautiful, beautiful raven black hair, I guess. I think it's black. It's very dark. And she shaved it. She shaved close on the sides, left some on the top, spiked it, bleached it. And she said in the interview, the reason I did that, and she in the interview, her hair was like that at the time. I think she's grown it out again. She said, I did this because I just didn't want to be Katy Perry anymore. I just want to be Katherine Hudson. And that's her real name. And I just watched that video and I was just like, I just want to take her out for coffee. I just want to sit down with her. And I would just want to be in a space. Hey, I'm Kristen Von Cleff. Hi, Katherine. How are you? Tell me about yourself, because everything I know about her is from the internet, the TV news, the newspapers I don't read, magazines I don't read, but I don't know her. I don't know her. And basically most celebrities, none of us do. And I mean, I was watching this interview. I watch a lot of interviews on YouTube. Spend time. Like, I'm cutting back on my time. But I watched this interview with these two celebrities. I don't even remember who they were, but they were talking about, like, the weirdest, like, tabloid thing ever. And one of their things they said was that they were, like, I don't know, 100,000 miles away from where they said they were in the article, whatever, post. And they were doing something else. So they're saying like, oh, I was supposedly in Timbuktu doing XYZ, and I'm like all the way across the country, world, wherever they were, doing something vastly different. So we've got that going on. So we've got her. And then a recent one I stumbled across too was, it was a picture of Julia Roberts and her niece playing cards. And I think she posted it on Instagram somewhere. And it was a reel, short, whatever. And it had her voice overlay in an interview saying,
I posted a picture of my niece and I from one weekend morning. She'd slept over, and we got up and we're having tea and playing cards and having this beautiful morning. It was great. I felt great about it. The amount of people that felt absolutely required to talk about how terrible I looked in the picture. That I'm not aging well. People saying, God, I didn't even recognize her. This is what she looks like. And then the fights that break out within the comments where someone says, you should be nice. Why should I be nice? She looks terrible. And people start fighting within the comments. I was amazed at what that made me feel. I'm a 50-year-old woman, and I know who I am. And still, my feelings got hurt. I was so hurt that people couldn't see the point of it, the sweetness of it, the absolute shining joy of that photo.
It's like we all have feelings. It's not like when you're a celebrity or this person up there who's gotten any accolades, whatever. It's not like you stop having feelings. And that's why I talk about, like, even celebrities deserve Christian compassion. Everybody does. And it's like the people who deserve compassion doesn't stop in your family, your friends, your acquaintances, the people at work, the people at church. It doesn't stop with the people you interact with, the people you see in public. I feel like people just don't resonate that they still have to love people in the external. And the fact that we have the internet now and we can interact with these people that we're never probably going to meet, talk to, whatever, in person. People just feel like they can say whatever they want. And it's like Julia now has the ability to see what everybody thinks, because anybody can comment on anything, basically, unless you turn comments off on the internet. And the thing is, too, is like a lot of these people wouldn't say this stuff in person. Like, I was listening to an interview with Riley Gaines, who's the University of Kentucky swimmer who competed against a biological male who was identifying as a woman. And so I was listening to the interview, but not to go into all of that. You can look it up if you want to listen to it. She's all over. She won a lawsuit with the NCAA for $22 million or $12 million, I think. Anyways, the point to this video is that she said, never outside of campuses and events where the protesters are screaming stuff at her. She's never once had someone in her day-to-day life come up to her and say something negative, but thousands positive. And so she's like, it's just on social media, like all these people. And she's like, a lot of the people who make really horrible comments don't have profile pictures. They don't have a name. The point is to this whole video is, like I said, everybody deserves compassion because we're all made in the image and likeness of God. We all are created in love and for love, and we need to give that love to everyone. We need to let everyone know they're loved. And yeah, we are all made in the image and likeness of God, like I said, and it doesn't matter how distorted that image is, like Post Malone, if I'm staying with the celebrity music culture, who has tattoos all over his face, you know? So what? He's still made in the image and likeness of God. He is still deserving of dignity and respect, and don't tear him apart. And, you know, a lot of this has just been pointed at you specifically as just a lay person like me who's just living in the world. But it's also hard for me to look at, you know, I am a Christian, so my views typically and morals are more conservative. And so I listen to conservative Christian commenters, news people, whatever. And I just watch them rip people apart. And I'm like, dude, you know, it makes me like not want to listen to them because they'll get on there and they'll have these strong opinions and they'll rip people apart. And we as, you know, it's like, it's acceptable to be able to gossip, right, about these people who are out there that we're never going to see. The sin, I feel like, is like diluted. If it's in your family, your friends, work, church, whatever you're gossiping about, you know, innately you're going to be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. That is bad, you know, detracting. You know, if you're trying to live a virtuous life, it's diluted when it's on the news. It's diluted when it's on the internet. It's diluted when it's on magazine covers. Like, it's like, okay, they're doing the sin, right? No, you're doing the sin by watching it, reading it, and then just talking about it, you know? And so it's like, well, so if it's not as intimate, personal to you, I feel like as far as gossip, like I was talking about in the friends thing about leading a virtuous life, not gossiping, it goes to this point too. You know, don't detract and all this stuff about people you don't even know, and these stories that are most likely not even true. And so anyways, yeah, like I said, I want to keep it short, brief, simple. But that's my point. You know, even celebrities deserve compassion because they have hearts. You know, they're just, and they can be just as broken as we are, if not more. And they're sensitive. It's not like they're these stone like statues that you can't, you know, knock down or wound or whatever. They bleed the same blood we do, and they all have hearts, and they all have feelings, and everyone deserves to be loved. And so in that, I will end. I will see you next time. This is Kristen Von Cleff. Jesus loves you, and I do too. Thanks.